News Group
raised its air pollution alerts to orange, its second highest alert level. It comes as a wave of intense smog continues to blanket the Chinese capital. China's Meteorological Center says municipalities and parts of central Hebei province are currently under a heavy haze, with visibility less than 500 meters in some places.
A three-day peacekeeping
Beijing
conference
issued a yellow level smog alert on Wednesday,
academics
the first
from
in
around
China's
the
capital
world
since early July. They issued orange alerts higher than yellow on Wednesday and has maintained it since. People have been advised to either stay indoors or wear face masks if they go outside. And students have been advised to suspend outdoor activities and reduce rainfall and low temperatures brought by the transitions of seas are major contributors to the bad weather. Experts say that heavy smog is expected to lift at the weekend. Well, as we said, Beijing has raised its air pollution alert to orange, the second highest level, as smog envelopes northern China for a third straight day. It was an upgrade from the yellow alert issued 2 days ago, reflecting the growing severity of pollution levels. Authorities in Beijing have warned residents to take precautions during this latest round of smog. Our reporter Tang Bo, who talked to many residents, tells us how they're feeling.
This is the central business district of Beijing. As you can see, you can barely make out the buildings. This place has been witnessing the rapid growth of China's economy, but now it is also seeing a rapid growth of fine particulates. What exactly do they come from? How can we get rid of them or keep them at a low level? What else to be done by the government? The city residents are looking for answers to these questions as the smog is back again to haunt the capital city.
The municipal government must take more action to ensure the reduction of vehicle emissions, and we should plant more trees.
The smog has affected my work and life a lot. It is going to affect my child's respiration system. So I'm not allowing him to go out now. And this pollution also affects my mood when going to work.
The effort to cope with the smog shouldn't be unilateral. The municipal government alone can't do that. Joint efforts are needed from neighborhood cities and every single city resident.
This is going to be a long-term fight. We can't accomplish the anti-pollution campaign in one action or overnight. The government should have all things considered, not only through car restrictions, but also by joint efforts from the whole nation, so we can...
Restoration project at the Palace Museum, also known as Forbidden City, which is housed in Beijing, where many temporary structures like food and souvenir stands have been removed, providing tourists with more walking space. Meanwhile, other areas are set to open their doors to the public for the very first time. Xigong has the story.
Old limbs brought back to life. This water fountain, built over 200 years ago, is just one of the areas at the Palace Museum that will be returned to their former glory.
In the Qing dynasty, emperors would come here to enjoy the moonlight. Water was carried up manually to the top of the hill to form this fountain.
The picturesque Emperor Garden, located in the north of the Palace Museum, has long been deemed an outstanding example of classic Chinese gardens. However, decades of service as the tourist hotspot have left the garden a shadow of its former self. The pebble walks are damaged, and nearby catering shops have transformed the garden into an open-air eating area for tourists. Once catering and rest areas are relocated, the walking space in the Emperor Garden will double in size. Tourists will also be able to enjoy better services.
We're setting up ways for tourists to read information on the Palace Museum from their cell phones and also from boards on the walls. This way they can be immersed in a cultural environment even as they eat, drink, and rest.
Meanwhile, on the western side of the Palace Museum, the building complex that was once called the Women's World will be soon opened to the public for the first time. The gates leading to it will be cleared of food and souvenir stands in order for tourists to better appreciate their historical and cultural significance.
This gate is famous in history. Li Zicheng, the peasant rebel leader, broke into the Forbidden City through this gate, and an arrowhead was left up there on the gate.
The next May, 3 gates connecting these legendary buildings will be opened to tourists and cleared off stands.
We will reproduce the scenes when Jianlong Emperor's mother used to live here. This area was the harem complex. The harem is what was called the world of women, but it was a world of retired women. A lot of stories took place here throughout history. I think people know many of these from TV series.
The Palace Museum's restoration project began in 2012. Up to now, nearly 4,000 square meters of temporary structures have been demolished, raising the area open to tourists from 30 to 52%. In 2020, up to 80% of the entire Palace Museum will be available to the public. Xu Geng,